The fitness industry is changing in 2026. More people are starting to shift from doing more to doing what actually works. I've been training for over 10 years, and I used to think more was better too. But when I cut my workouts in half, I started getting the best results I've ever had. So in this video, I'm going to show you the exact workout program that you need to get that jacked physique you've been dreaming of without living in the gym, and why ditching exercises like the barbell bench press could be your game changer. But let's start with the most common misconception that I see. To get a strong and lean physique, you don't need to train 6 times per week, 2 hours per workout. I've trained 5 or even 6 times per week during periods in my life where things were less busy. And now, with longer work days and less recovery, I've dialed my workouts back to just 3 times a week. The results that I got from training 5 times a week compared to just 3 times are surprising. I'm building just as much, if not more muscle, but on top of that, my recovery is way better, and so I have more energy throughout the week. So if you're asking yourself what's the best time to train, or how many times a week you should train for the best results, you're asking the wrong questions. Getting hung up on questions like those is majoring the minors. The optimal training frequency is very personal. For some people, that's twice a week. For others, that's 4 times a week. Some people love getting up early and train at 6 a.m. But if you're like me and hate the mornings, you'll have a better workout early in the evening after work. I always say that the best time to train is a time you feel best at and that you can actually train at consistently. It is cliche, but consistency beats perfection. Doing 70% right for a year will always beat going all in, trying to do 100% perfect, and then burning out after a month. This is why people get stuck. It's because they do think they need to do everything perfectly. But then they miss a workout, staying back at work, they eat a bad meal, meeting with friends, they fall off plan on the weekend. It feels like they're failing, and so they give up. Well, all they needed to do was just to get back on track the next day. This is not failing. Life gets in the way, and that's just part of the process. Ultimately, the outcome, a lean, jacked physique, is a result of repeating the 4 things I'm about to show you over and over again. You can have the best workout program in the world, but without doing this, you're wasting time in the gym. The first thing is eating enough calories for your goal, whether that's gaining or losing weight. To work out how many calories you need for your goal, I've built a really cool calorie calculator with an AI meal planner, which you can find in the description below. Then, to build or maintain muscle, you need to consume enough protein. I've seen the best results when my clients ate around 2 grams per kilogram of body weight per day. So for a 70 kilogram person, that would be 140 grams of protein. The next thing is truly the only legal performance enhancing drug that too many people sleep on. Getting at least 7 hours of quality sleep per night. See what I did there? I know it sounds easy, but trust me, prioritizing sleep makes everything in life better. Without sufficient nutrition and recovery, your muscles just won't grow. Which brings me to the 4th point, training close to failure. And the reason that this is so important is because research has shown over and over again that it's paired with proper nutrition and recovery, the key to muscle growth. Another benefit is that if you train every set close to failure, you don't need 2-hour workouts with 10 sets per muscle group per session. If you focus on quality over quantity, you need way less sets than you'd expect. Often just 2 hard sets is enough. Doing too little isn't why you're not getting the results that you want. You're most likely doing too much. And because of that, your workouts are of lower quality. And so when you're not jacked after 2 months, you blame the workout program, switch it all up, and start over. The problem with doing this, however, is that in the first 6 to 8 weeks or so that you're doing new exercises, 99% of the strength gains are not actually from muscles getting stronger or bigger. It's because of something called neuromuscular adaptations. Essentially, your brain gets better at talking to the muscle, which allows you to lift more weight. But in those first weeks, you're not really building muscle just yet. So changing exercises right when your brain has become more efficient and you're in a position to start building muscle is like throwing away your food the minute you're done cooking. So now that you know the 4 key concepts that build muscle, let me show you the exact workout program you need to finally build that jacked physique this year. The split that I have 90% of my coaching clients on is a 3-day upper-lower full body split. And here is exactly what each workout of the 3-day split looks like. On upper day, we're doing 2 push movements, 2 pull movements, and for isolation, 1 shoulder, tricep, and bicep. For lower, it's also super simple. We're doing a squat pattern, followed by a quad isolation like a leg extension. Then you're going to do a hip hinge like a deadlift and knee flexion movement, such as the leg curl, to hit the entire hamstring. Then you can move on to calves and finish off with abs. On the full body day, we'll do a hip hinge and a squat pattern, a push and chest isolation exercise, followed by pull, biceps and triceps. For most people, training 3 times a week is the sweet spot. It enables you to train each muscle at least twice a week without spending more time in the gym than at work. If you can train 4 times or maybe just twice, that's fine. I've included a 2, 3 and 4 day workout split in the program that you can download for free. The link is in the description. And now if you're thinking, geez, that looks simple, that's exactly the point. You'll be doing around 6 to 7 exercises per workout, hitting every movement pattern that you need to build a solid physique. But Kevin, why did you not give rep ranges? The truth is, I believe that rep ranges are overrated. They're not the holy grail. Instead, you should use them to guide you. Here's by far the most effective way to progress in the gym. Pick any rep range, for example 8 to 12 reps, and pick a weight that you can train to failure with within that rep range. So let's say you get 9 reps. Then the next workout, you'll keep the weight exactly the same, but you try to do 10 reps. You repeat this until you're at the top of the rep range, so 12 reps in this example. Then the next workout, you increase the weight with the next possible increment. Even just adding 1 rep or 1 kilo is progressive overload. So don't let your ego run wild. Even if you think you can increase the weight by more, taking too big a jump increases the risk of you sacrificing form, which will make the set less effective. Which brings me to another super important driver for building muscle. Proper form, range of motion and controlling the weight, especially the eccentric, should always be your priority. Swinging the weights like Tarzan in the jungle or doing half reps reduces tension and so is less effective. It feels easier, but it shouldn't be. Strength training should be difficult, to the point where the last 2 or 3 reps are slowing down and you can barely move the weight. If the last rep speed looks exactly like the first, then you're not training hard enough to give the muscles enough stimulus to grow. Because ultimately, what drives muscle growth is the tension on the muscles. Your muscles don't know whether they're pushing a barbell, a dumbbell, or even a machine. Your muscles just respond to the amount of tension applied to them and the time they are under tension. And that's exactly why I rarely program the barbell bench press for any of my clients. Because the range of motion is more limited compared to doing it with dumbbells. A larger range of motion increases muscle tension by keeping the muscle under load for longer and often at a longer muscle length, which tends to produce a stronger stimulus. And that's exactly what we want, right? So now you have the exact workout structure to build a strong, lean physique in 2026. If you want to know the only 2 exercises you need to do to grow big arms, watch this video next. It'll show you which exercises I think are the GOAT and why.